Hello everyone, thanks for checking out the video. Back with another Toy Shops of Tokyo, this time visiting Red Mercury in Ueno. As you can see, it is packed full of figures, especially Star Wars and Transformers. This is actually, in my opinion, probably the best shop to get Star Wars if you're looking for Star Wars while you're in Tokyo. If you could subscribe to the channel, like the video, I'd appreciate it. Helps the channel, helps the algorithm, helps me. So as you can see, there's a lot of con exclusives. There's a lot of shop exclusives in here. They have so much stuff, it's just, they're all still sitting in the boxes. So moving around the shop, this is a 1/18. This is by Joy Toy, for those of you who collect 1/18 scale, which is basically 3 3/4. You can see up top here some more of the harder to get Black Series. The store has a lot of Black Series. It has a lot of the vintage collection stuff, some of the Disney park stuff, as you can see. So, as I said, it's a great place if you want to get some of the more modern Star Wars. There's none of the Kenner, stuff, aside from maybe one or two things. So if you're ever in Tokyo, make your way here, Red Mercury. It's a little bit hard to find, but it's actually on the 4th floor. So if you do find it, you have to walk up the 4 flights of stairs just to get up here, which is not an easy task, especially in the summer. But anyway, there's some Fortnite, there's some McFarlane stuff here at the front. Some Spawn, some DC. So again, this shop, I would say, more than any other shop, has what you would get if you were in an American comic book store. Some of the, the more modern, more up-to-date, within the last few years figures. Aside from Star Wars. The Star Wars stuff goes back quite a few years. But you can see all the Batman stuff. McFarlane is never short on giving us Batman. Moving over, we have some of the Marvel stuff. There's some Mezco in there. There's some Hasbro in there. You got some Predator, some Karate Kid, some Ghostbusters, a little bit for everybody. More boxes. Ueno has a few good toy stores. If you're ever making your way here, it's a bit of an older part of Tokyo. Hasn't been developed as frequently as Shinjuku, Shibuya, Ginza, those areas. So it's a bit old in terms of the shops, in terms of the look. But they have a great zoo at Ueno Station. It's a pretty good park, especially if you're here during cherry blossom season. It's a good place to visit. All the Marvel Legends. Transformers stuff. So from this part of the store to the right is mostly Transformers. And then basically from Darth Vader over to the left all the way back is Star Wars. Again, a really good selection, especially in Japan, where none of this stuff is really sold anymore aside from like Toy Sapiens or something. None of the retailers carry much of anything anymore. Even Toys R Us barely carry Star Wars anymore. So you can see that back wall. It's a beautiful sight for those of you who are into Star Wars. That is massive. So the beginning is Black Series, the 6-inch stuff, the 1/12 scale. You can buy individually carded figures, or you can buy the wave. So you might see two prices on a figure and not really understand. The higher price is basically for the wave that goes back behind the figure, and I believe it's like 5 figures per wave. Here's some of the Hasbro Pulse stuff, the army building stuff. Getting into the smaller lines, the vintage collection. And it goes all the way down to the Power of the Force 2 from the 90s. They by no means have all the figures, obviously, but if you are missing, a figure or two in your line, in your collection, and you're looking and you happen to be in Tokyo, it's a great place to go, stop, just take it all in, even if you're not going to buy anything. I remember being a kid and going to the toy store. We used to go to Child World. I didn't go to Toys R Us, but Child World would have peg upon peg just full of these kind of things. And kids today, they don't play with toys like we used to back in the 80s, but seeing these, it's Japanese say natsukashi. It's nice to reminisce. The prices are obviously higher than you would get in the States. But again, everything here is imported. Hasbro doesn't really distribute much at all. You can find some of the Bad Batch stuff, which is sold out, I believe, in most places in the States. I think it was around the Saga collection that I stopped collecting the 3 3/4 inch stuff. Pretty sure it was around there. I believe I stopped collecting Star Wars around 2006, possibly 2007, early 2007. And that's when I moved to Japan. So a lot of this stuff I have, but everything to the left of this, really, I never did grab. I never did collect. But I'm looking at this stuff and I'm like, did I buy this stuff? Do I have this stuff? I can't remember. Here's the first waves of the Black Series. So you have, episode 3, episode 2, episode 1, Power of the Force 2 with the film slides, with the hologram stickers, without. Then you have some of the Gentle Giant 12-inch reproductions of the kind of stuff. You have the big chap. Bunch of lightsabers there on the right. Halloween costumes for your dog, which is cool. I had a Darth Vader costume I put my dog in back in the day. It was great. Those are the kind of things I miss about living in America. So yeah, there's a bunch of vehicles, different scales. You can see that snow speeder there in the back when Hasbro was actually somewhat okay with releasing that scale, which is the 1/12 6-inch scale, for retail. That micro galaxy stuff, which I'm a big fan of. A lot of great pieces there. Couple of Slave Ones. Nobody's gonna call it the Starship, Boba Fett Starship. It's ridiculous. So some of the interactive, Nerf stuff or lightsabers or masks over here, and Black Series helmets here. Kotobukiya things as well. Wish I had room for the helmets. They are pretty cool. Couple of Godzilla pieces. Oh, really? Some minions. Couple sideshow pieces, Hasbro piece down at the bottom. 12-inch figures. So now we're into the Power Ranger stuff. It's only a few, and then we get right into, as you can see, Transformers. A few Zoids in there as well. I was at Ami about a week ago, nearly a week ago, picking up some of the Mafex figures, and it was a crazy scene with collectors, and they're all men, there's no real kids there. Collectors picking up the newest drop when it comes to Transformers. Guys just had, baskets full of Transformers figures, and I mean, on the one hand, it's good to see that the line is still going pretty strong over here. On the other hand, I really couldn't see what dropped. I don't really pay much attention to the mainline stuff, the Chug stuff, what Hasbro and Takara Tomy put out, but it would be nice if kids were getting them. That's my old man rant for the day. My own kids, I try to get them into the stuff, and I'll let them play with my stuff aside from the hot toys, even the Mafex. I gave one of my sons Mafex Classic Spider-Man for Christmas. He proceeded in, I don't know, a day or two to break the hands off the pegs. Some of you collectors out there, probably your mouths are agape, you're shocked, but when you got kids, it's hard to say no sometimes. The hot toys I can say no, but everything else, if they want to play with it, if they're responsible, I'll let them play with them. Lots of Transformers, as you can see, different lines. There's the Netflix stuff. So again, if you could subscribe, if you're still watching the video, appreciate it. If you could like the video, helps me out a lot. I wish we got that level of craftsmanship with Transformers back in the 80s. I remember when they first dropped. It was so exciting getting them. I actually used to buy GoBots a lot as well. The local convenience store, they used to sell the GoBots. I don't know if they were like $1 or $2 each back then, but I bought quite a few. They were a lot easier to get than Transformers, a lot smaller in packaging as well. You see the Super 7 stuff there on the right. Some of the movie flyers. Navigating around people in these shops is not the easiest thing to do. The Studio Series stuff is pretty nice. I like the Dinobots. They're pretty cool. My kids have got a few of them. But again, they tend to break everything. So, you know, they lose interest pretty quickly as well. So there you have it. We made it through Red Mercury. So again, if you're in Tokyo, if you're looking for a store to maybe pick up some Transformers stuff, some Star Wars stuff, highly recommend this store. It's a great store to stop by and support. So thanks again for watching the video. As always, appreciate it. Take care. Be good.